Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we are going to talk about this week's dungeon, or this few day period of dungeons, which I have not started yet, but I do plan to get in there and do several of these runs through the dungeon before it ends. Now, if you're not familiar with dungeons, you can only run the bases with the tier or below, but you can use your friends to help out. Your teammates can join, or you can join theirs, and everybody involved will get credit for completion of that base, and only the person who initiates the run will use up the keys. So you can work with your teammates to complete all of these with very reasonable amount of cost and time. Now let's talk about the prizes. So the prizes are a bit tricky, and I don't always do the math myself, but as you know, I rely a lot on Morion's analysis, and he does a lot of puts a lot of effort into analyzing the different resources, comparing them to previous deals we've had, comparing them to each other directly, and comparing them to different chests that might drop these resources. First, let's say that these are free rewards for running a dungeon base, and it is fun. It's nice to go through. It doesn't take a ton of time, and you do get free rewards for it. So that's great. We all like having free stuff, and this is about as free as anything gets in this game. So it's hard to really complain about what is offered. Now, the interesting part is the value of the items available today versus the previous event, and the value of each item compared to each other when they have similar or the same costs. First, let's talk about the things that are available. So the whole top row are rider shards. Now, if you do not have Atlas, you might want to get these because rider gear is very influential and very critical in the strength of not only your base, but also your dragons. So if you don't have Atlas and you're low on shards, this is a way for you to get them. Unfortunately, it is a very small number of shards. 1,500 is not very much. And so, maxing out on a specific shard type still isn't going to get you that far on leveling up a piece of gear, which is a shame. But if you don't have Atlas, this is your only way of getting them, or one of the few ways of getting them. It is a decent option for you. If you do have Atlas, I do not recommend this because you'll get much more with much less effort, or much less required. Now, let's take a look at the bottom row. You've got elemental embers, which are great. You've got black pearls, which a lot of players need. You've got timers and platinum chests. All of those are great resources. The only one that's not really that valuable is these XP potions. But if you're lazy and you want help leveling up dragons, these aren't terrible. But also the XP boosts have been a lot more available as well, and so you can just use those. And so I don't recommend getting these. I would recommend getting other prizes instead of these, unless you really don't have a need for the other things that we discuss. Now, the absolute no-brainer is the platinum chests. You should get all 5 of these platinum chests. The only problem is you can only get 5. 5 platinum chests isn't that crazy, but hey, it's free. It's free platinum chests, and you might get several thousand sigils. You probably won't, but you could. And you could get several thousand embers and several thousand egg tokens. There's a lot that you could get, but with just 5 drops, it's not that likely for a lot of players to get an overwhelming amount of resources. Now, what is unfortunate is the chests, they weren't platinum chests, they were gold chests, but you could claim 10 of them. And as Morion put it, 1 platinum chest is better than 2 gold chests, but now we can only claim it 5 times instead of 10. So when you compare 5 platinum chests to the previous possibility of having 20 gold chests, the value is actually less. So overall, the value is less when you go for the platinum chests of 5 than if you would have gotten 20 gold chests. So that's kind of disappointing. Now, the potential what we can get from chests this time around is less, but this is what you should spend. Prioritize spending your currency on this time around, because platinum chests are great. You can get a lot of good stuff, and even though it's only 5, it's definitely what you want to spend on. After that, it kind of gets a little bit fishy. Maybe not fishy, but tough to really decide. The issue is you only get 100 embers. You can claim this an unlimited number of times, but 100 embers is not that much. Even if you spent 400 of the currency on it, you'd only have the ability to purchase this 10 times, and that's only 1,000 elemental embers. That's nothing. And the same goes for black pearls. You can purchase it 10 times. It's funny that they limit this to 10 times, but again, you can't get very much of them, even if you spend a bunch of the currency on it. And finally, the timers. Everyone needs timers. You know, you might as well grab some timers if you have the currency left over to do it. But you can only purchase it 3 times. I'm not sure why they decided to limit these things the way they did. I think it might have just been an oversight, miscalculation. You know, in fact, on the forums, PG Galileo had posted that the timers were 12-hour timers, but he didn't realize that in game they were actually 3-hour timers. So I think what might have happened was they were intended to be 12-hour timers and they ended up being 3-hour timers, which is a bit disappointing because that's a pretty drastic difference. But basically, when you look at the value of things from the last time around when we had this event, and you compare them to the drops from, say, a set of 10 chests or just gold chest legendary drops, the value of these timers compared to, say, the egg tokens from the last time around are significantly less. The value of the black pearls are significantly less. The value of the elemental embers are significantly less. And the value of, XP potions are already low. So not much needed to say about that. But, that's just a bit of a rant. It's unfortunate that this is what we've been offered when we were used to something different. But again, I can't stress enough, these are free rewards. And hopefully we can cross our fingers that next time around, the rewards will be better and we'll be like really surprised and grateful and happy. But what I would recommend, first off, get all 5 platinum chests. After that, you got to decide, do you think this small amount of speed ups is worth it? Well, I mean, you're only going to be able to purchase it 3 times. So most likely you're going to have the currency to do it. Why not grab the timers? After that, it's really up to you. I don't think that the black pearls or the elemental embers are significant enough to really make a difference. So I would probably just get the XP potions after that. I mean, it's 300,000 XP. That's actually quite a bit. You get 2 of them. You purchase this a few times. You can level up a dragon or 2, get, some levels on them much easier. And I think that's more influential than having another 1,000 elemental embers or 1,000 black pearls or whatever it may be. But again, if you don't have Atlas, the Rider Shards are definitely worth considering as well. But, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you decided to get or what you're planning to get. If you're struggling with the dungeons, if you enjoy the dungeons, or what your thoughts are this time around with the prizes, as far as, they're free, they should just be grateful for whatever we get versus, even though they're free, we're still putting an effort to get them and they should be kept relatively standardized throughout the events and in comparison to the others. And hopefully with the input that has been provided on the forums, with Morion specifically giving a very in-depth breakdown and analysis of the value of each individual resource, hopefully we can see next time around that these prizes will be a little bit more valuable, one, and equal and comparable as the second point. So once again, thank you for watching. I hope this was an insightful and helpful video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.